I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle: Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. It has a lot to do with national security, and we need to step up our game.
This monarch of billionaire, I grew up in federally subsidized housing. I came from nothing. Yes, I have billions of dollars. I earned it. No one gave it to me.
3 precious little kids lost their lives, and I believe 3 adults, I believe it's. And the shooter, of course, lost their life too. So it's a horrible, horrible situation. And we're not going to fix it.
Now watch this drive.
Maybe one more button.
I'm already fucking exhausted.
One more button less.
One more button. If you say so, but it might pop off.
Something's gonna pop off.
My get up is that it's because I'm on island time, so I no longer am subject to the horrible, malicious rule of PetSmart.
Well, you are until May 5th.
I've liberated myself. I've
haven't
shaken
yet.
off my chains. Pending.
I'm very upset about this.
Well, me too.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I'm not here to focus and think and talk about the past. I'm here to think about the future.
Let's talk about the present.
Yeah,
you
the
fuck.
present.
Move forward.
Let's talk about the present.
Right
Let's
now.
go. Why? It's already the past. See what I'm saying? This is the problem.
That shirt
Let's
is the
talk about-
best.
It just happened again.
Let's talk about Monday.
What about
Fuck.
What do you mean Monday?
That is the future.
Yep, it's the future.
I will say this. I don't want to dwell on it too much. I have resigned my position at PetSmart. No hard feelings, no animosity.
Oh, really?
Moving on. I will say this though. It is incredible how many more things are placed on the table when the prospect of you leaving actually becomes a real thing.
What was placed on the table?
So many things were placed on the table. Their whole bounty was placed on the table before me, and I looked at it and I said, "No, thank you," because I'm no longer I'm post money. I'm no longer interested in money at all.
Post truth and post money.
But I will say we have to
Post moolah.
we have to start shipping things, or I will be homeless, and I will have to sell all of my fancy beach shirts like the one I'm wearing.
I'm sure
now.
your mom will take you in.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Well, sure, but a fate worse than the gutter is having to move back in with your parents.
Dude, fuck you. I had to do that.
Well, I don't. Okay.
Was it a
I mean,
fate?
fuck you.
worse
It's my opinion. It's for expressing an opinion.
No,
I'm sure your parents are fine.
You're absolutely.
I'm sure my parents would be
No,
fine.
you're absolutely right. It's
Well, I mean, you're
fate.
absolutely wrong because the gutter would be far worse. But you're fine.
I was just telling Randy that I'm super fucking tired, so I don't know what we're going to talk about.
No prepared outline. We're just winging it.
I'm not tired. That's fine.
I don't plan on participating that much.
I
This is
plan
going to be
on
an
coasting
hour
on
of Drew saying he's retired.
on my Jimmy Buffett good vibes. I'm wasting away in Margaritaville right now, guys.
Margarita. Yeah, I was about to say
I almost made a margarita for the bit, but I couldn't be bothered. You know why?
you don't know how to make.
You're on
a
island
margarita.
Because I'm
time.
retired. And also,
All right.
You're not.
I don't know where the blanket
You are
is.
at. You don't know what the word retired means.
What does that mean?
That means you don't work anymore.
Yeah, you don't know how
Well,
to not work.
We're expecting you to work 3 times harder than you've been
Yeah.
working in the past.
Well, I
Seriously.
will be.
Maybe 4.
I will be. But the difference is I'll be working on stuff that we own, as opposed to stuff
Like
that
Johnny Cash, you're unchained.
I'm the Django Unchained.
You weren't. No.
We're working in Python now.
And you're in a ring of fire?
Why are we working in Python?
The Django.
It's just Django. No D.
I bring the D.
This is unlistenable.
It's for Drew.
Randy, let's talk a little bit about how you felt when you saw my fake offer letter.
You should probably explain it to the listeners. This is getting into inside joke territory, this entire
No,
intro.
I don't care. I didn't realize we started.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have an outline, so I hit the record, and this is where we're at.
Let me just Google.
Yeah, so the
news.
day job, there's a giant... Okay, let me rewind for a second. We're recording this podcast on Friday. We typically record it on Tuesday. The reason for that is because Carl has been I mean, me too, and Drew to some extent has been working his tail off, especially Carl though. Like
I had 124 hours in the past 10 days.
Yeah. To hit a absolutely unreasonable client deadline, I had to present the thing that Carl was working on Thursday, and the meeting started around 10, and I think at 9:50, might have the time slightly off, but right before the meeting, I got a Teams message from Carl with a offer letter for a new position as a director of software development, making $180,000 a year.
185.
Sorry.
Please
My
be
mistake.
accurate with the
Yeah,
bullshit
mistake.
letter.
It was very well written. The names and place were redacted. Had a signature on it though. That was a little weird.
Yep, I found a signature to put on there.
There's Google signature.
But it looked
fonts.
real.
It's
It
crazy
looked
what you
legit.
can find on the internet.
Yeah,
And it wasn't-
ChatGPT wrote
It
that.
wasn't directly to me, which should have made me a little suspicious. But in the
But it wasn't a resignation letter.
No, but it's a little weird that you'd be getting an offer letter and then CCing other people, especially the people that you did CC on that.
All I did was say, "Hey, should I negotiate higher or should I accept as is?"
In the fog of war.
I was asking for
Things have been quite foggy.
for recommendations.
Yeah, in the fog of war, I was fairly well convinced. My honest first reaction was, okay, he just worked like a 70+ hour work week. How did he find time to apply? Because, usually these things don't take longer than, a few weeks. And for the last 3 weeks at least, he's been buried in work. And I'm like, when did he find time? Like,
That's the strategy.
When was he interviewing?
You have to bury him under more work, Randy.
Yes,
'cause
exactly.
Otherwise, he'll have time.
Yeah, and he strung me along for at least what felt like a good half hour, but it was probably shorter than that.
I got a text from
It was
Carl
about-
that was like,
it was about a half hour.
check Teams. And I thought like somebody was mad at me because I was like MIA on something that I forgot about. But no, it was just a very cool ChatGPT letter.
This is while I'm literally like prepping and I don't know if I'm sure our listeners, I'm sure someone has given a presentation where it's a pretty important one and you're trying to drill what you're going to talk about. I'm not a professional speech giver or anything, but
Order.
typically I don't try to have everything verbatim written down or anything. I try to do a little cliff notes in my head kind of thing and point to point and little reminder words and what have you without writing anything down. And I'm kind of drilling myself going through this, and then here comes that letter.
You know what sucks though, and this is true every time, and
Kind of
somehow
ruined my day.
we
I
keep
threatened
not
to kill Carl, and that threat is still active,
You should come. Did you hear about that?
Randy sent me the Wikipedia link to the gun show loophole.
That's my
which is a
fucking
Drew
bit.
bit. I
actually, I stole
stole
that
Drew's
bit.
Well,
bit.
yeah,
I don't remember where I got it from, but I know it's not mine.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
Nothing new under the sun.
Nobody has any original thoughts anymore.
Including AI.
That's of course, especially.
Well, I never started with one.
Speaking of
Sorry,
murdering
Drew.
your what?
We interrupted you. You were
Oh
onto
no, I was
something.
trying to interrupt you.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
No, I was gonna say the whole stressing out about having to do a presentation every single time. All of the stuff that you stress about, all of like the little kind of weak spots that you know about, nobody ever gives a shit about that. It's always like everyone hyper focuses on one fucking thing that's completely.
Oh yeah. No, and this is a perfect example of that too. And back in mine and Carl's previous employer, which shall not be named, Raytheon, that was
McKinsey
way worse.
company.
That was far worse. I had to present for the FAA and stuff. There was a lot of really nerve-wracking, higher profile presentations, and yeah, it was always like you drill and you prep and you know exactly how the meeting's going to go, but then it turns, I mean, not to be a cliche, not to be like a Michael Scott here, but it turns into a jazz improv, because all of a sudden you'll get this weird question from left field.
From
and you're
President Barack Obama.
like, what am I even, what?
It's always something weird too, like, why is the text all in Greek or something like that? And you're just like, it's just a comp.
Actually,
just a place. We had real.
Who
text
is
in this
Laura?
one.
Yeah. This one, yeah.
And why is he
Who's
Ibsening?
Ibsen? Yeah. So Lorem Ipsen, is that like a band name or something? That would be
cool,
a good
dude.
band name. Probably already used.
Gotta be.
But this one, it was the worst ones for me rather, are when a client or whoever you're presenting to asks a question that isn't in your territory, but no one in the room could represent it either. And this
Make
is
shit
an
up.
example of that. It was like a UX question, and it's like, I actually do have a background in UX, and I'm fairly well versed in most UX practices, but I did not work on the UX for this specific project. So
User
I was like,
experience.
user experience. I'm not going to defend someone else's, and frankly, I don't even agree with the decisions that they made in this case. So it's like, okay, we'll just let this one ride.
Yeah, you're right. That is stupid.
Like,
You're absolutely right
Yeah,
to question that
I
because
could-
it's fucking ridiculous, but that's
I
not my
could-
call.
I could have went that direction, yeah. And I was tempted for a second, but I'm like, oh,
This
that'll
is why
ruin
I'm
the
not allowed in meetings.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed in these types of
There's
meetings.
a lot of tongue biting.
I will miss when you guys would like begrudgingly pull me into things, like into meetings, like where you have to like put me in front of other human beings.
Yeah, you're going to do that Tuesday, actually. Did
Yeah,
Ruby
yeah.
What?
We actually need you. Yep.
Yeah, you're going to defend actually related to that project.
Yep. You're going to defend it.
This is very dangerous because I have nothing to lose.
No, see, this is why I don't know. I'm still
we
a little
already talked
hesitant.
about this. If you don't do a good job, I'm going to murder you on Thursday.
You can try. And
Well, no,
probably
it's
succeed.
I will be at your house.
it's
Remember that last time that I just demoed a choke on you and you almost died?
oh my god, you choked Drew out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost passed
Well,
out.
no, I didn't choke him out.
You
but,
should have.
I almost passed out.
Like he was crying within 2
And you like
seconds.
threw me and I broke my back on the couch. It was terrible.
Yeah, that was an accident.
And I
I'm
actually
sorry about that.
there's a red card. A referee actually broke through the window and threw a red card.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an accident.
No, it's going to be defending our position when it comes to certain technology
Styling?
decisions. Yes,
Styling?
yeah.
No.
Well, I
Yeah.
will say that I don't if they can't fix the upstream issues that we've been talking about, it might invalidate the styling thing. But their platform is shit
Yeah.
if they don't support the thing that we want to do because it's
Yep.
it's a very common way to do it.
Personally, I think
Yeah,
it goes beyond that specifically because I think there's a lot more questions based around CSS and JS and component architecture, just the approach in general.
Yeah,
And I think we could share with the listeners somewhat. It's a React app that we're working on.
we're working on
there's
a
only a
React.
couple of those in the world.
This is what Carl is spending a tremendous amount of time on. So we've got a client. They need a thing built that it constitutes many websites, and so there's this other platform that helps you build a bunch of instances of React apps for websites. Their real value add is that they have certain services that are outside of the scope of this particular thing. And this is their foray into letting you build custom pages. And for whatever reason, the client has signed on with them. I assume that somebody at the client's nephew is a sales representative at the platform.
That's not true.
You have there's no
wish
way
it
to
was that
confirm
simple.
You cannot falsify. You cannot prove a negative.
I can, though. I know.
It would be
for sure.
it would be very time consuming. You'd have to go on ancestry.com.
It's a simple question. Okay, maybe it's unbeknownst to the client that his or her nephew.
They might not even know. That's what I'm saying. It's just
company.
the nepotism, like the sort of natural nepotism sort of gene.
No, there's that Radiolab thing, the gene thing. It's
have
kind of
no
like
idea.
related to the selfish gene. Okay, so two people are drowning. Both are the same race as you, but you dive into the water and you're more likely to rescue the person that is genetically more similar to you,
That
potentially
makes
even
sense.
related.
That's why.
Just like- Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Like, why? I'm a superior being. Why would I want to
right.
rescue?
Like I
But
know
unconscious-
me.
or-
no,
Right, no,
survival
no,
of the
you don't
fittest.
even.
So is it
you
like
don't even know.
how do you
Yeah.
do like?
No, I know.
How is
Yeah.
that information? Is it like a like?
It's called the selfish gene theory. I think.
Do you have to see them? Like, do you like? How do you? How does
No, your genes in
subconscious-
your body know that they want to propagate.
they're also
What if
wearing
you don't?
Wranglers?
What if you don't? Yeah, I was gonna say, what if you don't wear jeans?
GENE.
or like a Levi situation?
Like mean Gene. Like
No.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's fascinating. Do you?
It's a Radiolab.
It's like, it's like a
I'll,
hormone. It's like a hormone. How is
I'll
that
add it to the
information
description.
transmitted?
I am not certain.
This is
I don't think.
unlistenable.
I don't think anyone knows.
I don't think it's
for certain.
unlistenable.
But this is
Radiolab did a whole
definitely
bit
a
on it, where
Radiolab.
this-
Yeah.
where this is at least
they did it
10%
way
as good
better
as
than we
their-
did it. Yeah.
as their sort of
just
foray into it.
maybe
So we'll get-
5%.
Going all over.
We'll
We're
get
going
5%
all
of the
over the
listeners.
place.
Oh yeah, we are definitely
The
we
React
lost
thing.
it a
So
little
there's
bit.
this styling library.
This is a terrible idea.
this-
Honestly, we should just cut.
There's this styling library
bucket
called
stuff.
MUI, Material UI. It's a React component library. The original conceit of it was that it was going to make it really easy to implement Google's Material UI spec. And React applications, they have a lot of components that speed up development, and they have this really cool design
and it does.
system.
It does do that.
And it does do that. It leverages something called Emotion, which many CSS and JS component libraries do. Emotion also provides the ability to support server-side rendering, where basically your web page is pre-rendered on the server and it's either served at request time or preferably that information is cached. You can customize the hell out of it. You don't have to implement the material spec, but it just gives you like a really clean and easy way to do a lot of complex styling stuff very quickly and maintain an ever-growing list of components. There's a lot of solutions. MUI is the one that we've used a lot in production, and so we're familiar with it, and this was a really tight deadline, and the client was supposed to be deferring to us on styling, and so we said, well, let's just use this thing that we're familiar with. Recently, I've really been into Tailwind and Radix unstyled accessible component primitives. But that's neither here nor there. The problem is that this platform that we're supposed to be using is not able to allow us to do the thing that we're able to do in most server-side rendering frameworks, or if we were to host the server-side rendering ourselves in like an Express app and hook into the rendering of the page initially on the server. Because in order to communicate the information that Emotion is gathering from the render of the page and shitting that out to the client so that it can be in sync when the JavaScript hits the web page and rehydrates the initial markup. If they're out of sync, it creates a mismatch and it's no good. So we need to be able to extract the styles first on the server and re-inject them back into the page. We can't do that because all of that is abstracted away by this platform. And the conversations with their engineering team, again, were like the first people using this system in production. It's still technically in beta, I guess. Like it just is apparently lost on them why like you would need to do that. Although every modern server-side rendering framework provides some way to hook into that. For Next.js, it's _document, and the app directory, you can just do it through a layout. But it's like a very normal, common thing, and they're kind of giving us pushback on it. And they've been giving us pushback on MUI the entire time. There are valid complaints.
Well, the engineering team hasn't. Like,
Yeah.
Well, the client,
it's
the
a
client has.
the client.
Which is actually even more concerning because they should have been if this doesn't work in the first place.
Right.
Well,
It's
they
betraying the
are-
fact that they
they are
don't know what
unfamiliar.
this is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although
they
it
were
is a
unfamiliar
very
with it.
popular.
I don't understand how you would build a server architecture that would support React apps and not be familiar with Emotion or MUI.
Well, it's not even
It
it's not
just
even a
seems-
lack of familiarity with Emotion, right? Like Emotion is not the only reason that you'd want to be able to get into like the root layout of the document that you're rendering. And it's just apparently lost on them that this would happen. And so for me, they're still on React 17. I don't know if they even support React 18. I don't think they support suspends or the concurrency features. Certainly don't support React Server Components, which is where everything is going. It's a very, I think, naive approach to it. Like, I that's the only way that I can describe it is like they have not done their homework. They've not thought this through. And there's certain things like there's some it's impressive, right? Yeah.
Or what happened is they started with a really good idea, and then they had certain goals and milestones that they needed to hit, and maybe through no fault of their own, just those milestones got pushed back, and now they're just kind of behind.
I'm not just dogging on the engineers. I'm talking them as an organization, the people.
No, I know, but that's what I'm talking about. Like I feel like once you start making an application like that, or a platform like that, you have like all of these requirements up front, and nobody seems to think about like, well, what happens when these things that we base everything off of gets updated to the next version? Their 1.0 launch is still going to contain React 18 or 17.
17, yeah.
There might be room, like or it might be on their forecast to move to React 18, but their 1.0 launch didn't have that in there for whatever reason. The tooling alone might have just whatever they're using just might not be compatible right off the bat.
I'm suspicious for this specific platform, and without divulging too much information about the company, the arena that they play in is not anything close to what this deliverable needs to support. So I just have a feeling that the scope of this specific product that they're offering was far smaller than what they sold to.
It's not intended.
Yeah.
It's not intended to be a headless CMS for full blown React applications.
Yeah, especially
for fully custom React applications.
Yeah, especially for the width, the breadth of what we're delivering. It's just a
sheer
massive
number of
thing.
sites.
Yeah, it's more for to be just a quick landing page.
Yeah, a landing page, and it literally
or
says
several landing pages.
Yeah, it literally says that in the product description right on the home page.
This is basically better suited to be like a top of funnel thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you consider the information that they house within their CMS for most of their customers, it's that kind of like SEO specific, social specific, like the light fluffy marketing stuff that would serve a landing page very well. A very simple lead form kind of conversion, ready landing page.
Not like deep, fully custom applications where you need full control of the entire space.
Yeah.
But it's been interesting. Like, I mean, the people have been great. The platform, I'm honestly not a fan of it. That's a personal thing. I have issues with it, but it is in beta, even though
a lot of the things that you have issues with seems like it would be something that would be remedied in like a 1.2, 1.3 kind of feature enhancements.
I would agree with that if a lot of those things weren't conscious decisions that they have defended to Carl.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, you're back to the whole like emotion thing, right? And
Well,
No,
no,
I
not
think
even abstracting that, but also, Carl, you're talking about how like the data model works and how they're like, oh, well, it's safer if we make you explicitly decide what fields you want to bring in.
But again, it goes back to it's not intended to be used the way we're using it.
yeah.
And by the way, we're kind of locked into using this. It wasn't our choice.
This is like an age-old problem because we've all seen this happen. We've all had this happen to us where you have an overzealous salesperson that's, talking to some client and overselling what the potential is for whatever product.
That's their job.
I mean, we have a product at PetSmart that was attempted to be oversold to the very same client that, this product was sold, that this product outside of our walls is sold to. And it's like, yeah, can we just be honest about what we can support today and what it was designed for today, rather than, back ourselves into this corner and then have somebody, staying up until 3 a.m, 10 days in a row to deliver it. It's just a shame.
No.
The answer is no.
Yeah, hopped up on speed and gummy bears.
That's why I am opting out of that
Wow.
of that relationship.
Yeah, you're opting out, but what's funny is like you're still gonna do it. You'll still be doing it, and you'll still be sending us messages. I know the difference is that it's your own stuff. I get it. I understand.
My choice.
Slippery slope, though, Drew.
I understand. And that's why I'm really trying to embrace the island boy mentality. It's all good.
Like Epstein.
I'm just chilling. Well,
so you're like Jeffrey Epstein.
no, island. That's
like
the
a
island
black
man.
book
I'm an island boy. I'm one of the people that was
That is
brutally
the one of the people that
assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're bringing the kids.
No, I
He
am
is
the kid.
Yeah, he is the kid.
Oh, so you're being brought.
He's not an AR rep.
Right.
A&R rep. He's actually the one.
I'm
I
just
see.
I'm
So
representing.
you're getting pummeled by Donald Trump
Yeah.
and Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
and
they're doing
Chelsea.
they're doing
Chelsea Clinton too.
Chelsea Clinton.
when I was getting Eiffel Towered by Donald Trump and Bill Clinton on is that news to you? Have you heard of that?
When you were getting Shark Tanked.
What does that mean? I'm not familiar with that.
Just use your imagination.
Use your imagination.
Shark.
Yeah.
Well, no, let me think.
Well, he thinks Elm on Display.
Oh, that
Do you know this?
no.
It was released in 2016.
2016. Okay, it's a woman, young woman. She's looks like she's on a carpet.
Yep.
On the ground with her arms kind of like, in front of her. Looks like there's another sibling, maybe.
I would guess, yeah.
Just
Maybe a
half the
cousin.
head. Yeah, something like that. Looks like there's a Dinobot in front of her. It's a guess. Looks like
It's a bird.
like a dinosaur or something. And then there's
it's
a
a
bird.
bird.
And it's a
No,
photograph.
No, in the back. Like by her hand. It
Oh,
looks
you're
like
right.
a
No,
Dinobot.
that's my bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't that
It's-
look like Grimlock or something?
And it's a photograph. It's not a painting or an illustration.
Yeah, it's a
just
photograph. 2016, huh?
2016 on Saddle Creek Records. That probably already.
Is it a solo artist or a band?
It's a band. But
Is that like Jenny Lewis?
no, the singer guitarist wrote everything, and it is a woman.
Taylor Swift.
No,
I don't think so.
Saddle Creek Records. Taylor Swift would know.
I don't fucking know. I don't know record labels, man. Saddle Creek Records was like Connor Oberst and all that,
yeah,
right?
Bright Eyes, Cursive.
Yeah.
There you go.
I thought Jenny Lewis was on Saddle Creek Records, but I'm not that it's her.
Well, you said
Or-
Taylor Swift. That was who I was rejecting for that.
Yeah, no, I understand. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I got it.
You got
Yeah,
it?
but you cheated.
No, that's why I'm not blurting it out. So I'm just letting you know I've got it.
I'm interested.
I'm always interested in what Drew says because he usually just spits out either the artist name or the album name, but they're kind of interchangeable and he doesn't know which one is which.
Yeah. Give me the album name.
That's a chain by Fleetwood Mac.
No.
You son of a...
Do you actually know, or
It's Masterpiece by Big Thief.
Yep.
do you actually know, or no?
You
That
just
is
said
it.
it.
Oh, okay.
Masterpiece by Big Thief.
I've never actually heard of Big Thief.
So Big Thief, this is another husband and wife. So Buck Meek and Adrian Linker. They were Buck Meek is the guy's name. I swear to God, he's born
No,
in Texas.
come on.
He's born in Texas, yeah. So he's the
Oh,
guitar
shit, that's
player,
cool as hell.
and Adrienne Linker is the singer, guitar player, songwriter as well. They were married, and then married in this album. They were married, and then like 2 albums later, they got divorced. But they're still together. And they've released like 3 or 4.
Mid-album?
I don't know when exactly.
Wait, weren't you just telling me
specifically.
about this? Like,
That was the Rosebuds. They did the same thing.
yeah, okay.
So it's just funny. And this one also is this. This seems to be a musical trend as well, where Adrienne Linker, the singer, guitarist, songwriter, she was born and raised in a Christian cult.
Oh, well, they're all cults. Like every
just
that's not
Like
a
the
thing.
child actress, kind of
like
that
saying steak,
cliche kind of thing. Or yeah. So, anyways, I just thought it was funny.
What's your favorite song on the album?
I mean, Masterpiece. The title track is really, really good. There is a song called Randy, which that's funny, but that's not my favorite. I'd say Masterpiece. Yeah.
I just learned
It's
like
a bit
we
of a
started,
cold shot, so I would hope so.
we started watching The Sopranos. We're in like middle of season 2,
Mamma
and
mia.
I had no idea. Like Steven Van Zandt is in that.
Yeah. He's a
You know, and I
major
had-
character.
Yeah, he is a major character, but I had to look him up, right? Because I'm like,
Yeah.
who is this guy? Because it's such an old show. Like it was like '99 and when it started, and I didn't realize that he was actually in like what's this? Bruce Springsteen? Is that it?
The East Street Band, bro.
The E Street Band.
He's like
yeah.
the main dude in the East Street Band. Well, him and what's Conan O'Brien's drummer? Damn it! No, I can't think of the drummer. But yeah, those two are both in the East Street Band.
It was just crazy. Like, is this is going to be a stupid question? Is he related? Like, is it like Townes Van Zandt? Is that?
I don't think so.
No?
I think he has claimed that there might be a relation, but I don't think that's proven. I might be wrong though. Yeah, he's got a really bad hairpiece in all through The
Oh, really?
Sopranos. Yeah, because I think he's
That's a
balding.
hairpiece?
Yeah, I think he's bald. I think he's
Can't be that bad.
because in the East Street Band, he's always wearing the do rag thing,
Oh yeah.
So anyway,
Well, but that's now. Like, I mean, back in 1999.
oh, he's been wearing that forever.
Really?
Yeah,
I love his hairpiece in that show. Then
and the Sopranos.
he's actually
I mean,
he's actually
guess
one of my
it's-
favorite characters. He's
Oh,
just
yeah,
so
he's great.
funny.
He's great. Yeah,
He's always got his shoulders up and he just kind of he's like,
yeah.
It's just I just love it. We're actually like really loving that show. It's the first time we've ever seen it. And
That's great.
It's been really good. I don't know what it is about like mobster movies that I just fucking love.
Well, that's a whole other level too, because it's not even really. I mean, it is, but it's not just about the mob or.
yeah,
I mean, there's the character development is second to none, really. It's just
yeah, it's really good.
I Googled news.
That's what happens when we don't have an outline, guys.
I Googled
This
news.
could just be a short one. It's fine.
Really
Now
quick
shut
though.
The fuck up.
Really quick though. Elon Musk.
I will leave right now.
Have you guys heard the
Do it.
X thing?
Yeah.
So he liquidated Twitter, right? And
Wait, what?
It's,
We
it's
didn't
now
look-
part
we
of
didn't-
X.
Wait,
That's
what?
that's a headline. That is a headline that I read.
Wait,
Really?
start over.
So
What?
you know how he's got his dream of
Who's he?
creating Elon Musk
Okay, Elon Musk.
has a
Elon
dream
Xander
of
Musk.
creating a social network called X.
All right.
His obsession with like
Yeah, sure.
SpaceX and everything.
A compulsion,
And-
really.
It's gonna be like I can't remember the name of the app, the Chinese app that does everything, the do everything app. So it's gonna have like WhatsApp functionality. It's gonna have Twitter. You're gonna have Square kind of cash stuff.
Oh yeah,
Venmo kind of.
we've touched on this.
Yeah, so everything. And so he officially brought Twitter over into that. I don't know what that means. If Twitter's now a DBA, I don't know, but that's a thing that
Well, he
happened.
changed the
No,
logo to Doge.
he founds a new AI company called X.AI.
That's
Well, no,
part
but
of it
he
too, though.
But he also has X.com, which
Yeah.
I think he owns.
He's probably owned it for a while because didn't you want to call PayPal that? I thought I
Yeah.
read
Well,
that.
apparently, I thought he had like a payment company called X.com.
Nobody wants to use
yeah.
this.
Well, that's what's happening,
X.com
bro.
was an online bank co-founded by
And
Elon Musk.
forget the Doge logo. He painted over the W in the Twitter logo.
Oh
so
yeah,
it
it's
says
Titter.
Yeah.
Somebody posted I think his name's Theo on Twitter. He posted a selfie because there's multiple sides to that sign in San Francisco, right? And he
Yep.
only painted the W on one side,
Yeah, that is a little weird.
like a little bitch.
Can't commit.
No, he can't because he's gonna undo it like immediately.
Yeah, well, it's probably like washable paint or something
Like,
silly
oh, we're
like
gonna
that.
take a picture. The landlord said we couldn't do it. We're really sticking it to him. Are you the richest person on the fucking planet?
I know that is so
What are you
like
fucking
like my
talking about?
landlord
It has to
said
be
I
the
couldn't
same.
do it.
Change it and dare them to sue you. You're no stranger to that. My God,
Yeah,
come on, man. He's got to tell a story. He's got to have an enemy.
Like,
I do
just
really
buy
think
the
big
building.
landlords.
Like, just buy the building.
This goes back to my point. I mean, just the constant news cycle. He's like playing the Trump game, and it works. Like, there has not been more than 2 days since he took over Twitter where he has not made significant news in most major publications in the world.
You know what's kind of
Like,
sad though? He's losing it a little bit. He's losing the sauce.
It is getting kind of lame.
I don't know. Well, of course, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but this kind of depressed me. He changed his name on Twitter to Harry Balls
No,
for
come
like
on.
2 days. I swear to God. And
Is this
like,
real?
yeah, clearly because like he wanted it to like be part of that news cycle thing,
Yeah.
and it just didn't really work. Like I saw 2 people on Twitter talking about it, and I saw him like retweet.
Real thing.
God damn it.
I saw him.
It's Harry.
It's even
like
worse.
Harry. It's
a
Harry
misspelling.
Bowles.
Yeah.
Like,
What does that
Yeah,
mean?
still. I mean,
I
it's
would
the
change it to like
same thing.
elongate Musk or something. I think that'd be way cooler. His reply guys were saying, "Oh wow, the news media is just so obsessed with Elon like changing his name to Harry Bowles. Like, why don't you focus on the actual issues?" No, they weren't. There was
They
no
weren't at all.
coverage. There was
I
no
love that.
coverage of it.
I love that.
They're like, "Oh wow,
love the
like they're really out to
manifesting,
get
yeah.
you." Yeah, man.
The manifesting of like the news media is not covering this story, and it's like on every major news publication.
Yeah.
You know, the opposite of that. Or
Right. It's
oh, you're really pissing the news people off. It's like there's one
just
story in
whatever.
like some
You just say whatever you want.
backwater newspaper.
Yeah, never be happy, never be content. But yeah, like that really bummed me out. Where he was like
Yeah.
a 12-year-old. I mean, he does that a lot, and it has worked a little bit in the past. But people are starting to
Yeah.
get fucking sick of it.
It's usually always like peppered, like so he'll have something a little bit more dramatic, and then he'll pepper it with those silly things.
Yeah,
But now he seems to be running only those silly things.
yeah, he's losing the juice. I think he's really got to
Yeah,
pick it up. He's got
I
to switch his
agree.
meds.
I also read a headline that the final count, and this is as of like 2 weeks ago, was 80% of Twitter employees were laid off. So he's wearing at 20% capacity right now
It's kind of high.
since his acquisition.
He's like, oh, we're approaching profitability. It's like, well, that makes sense because
You fired 80% of your staff.
that's that helps. I think a lot of the things that could get very expensive do take some time. The fact
Yeah.
that he's fired the compliance department is up there for me. More or less fired the compliance department and all of the various lawsuits and things. But I mean, at the end of the day, we've talked about this before. It doesn't matter. He can really do whatever he wants. And
Yeah, I haven't used it in a while. The twits. The Titter. I used it just earlier today, and this is just on Android. There is quite a difference in performance. I'm noticing a lot more weirdness in general load issues, but oftentimes too, it's a tweet will claim that it has like 13 comments or something. You click on it, and there's nothing. And you click on it again, and there might be one. And you click on it again, there's nothing again. Like that over and over and over again. And then things that are retweet, but it's not even like tweets that have been removed that it was retweet. Like it's just the connections are breaking, I guess, would be a simple way to put it.
yeah.
And I've noticed that quite significantly.
Some of the big things that are actually really dangerous are like bugs concerning privacy and permissions. There's this feature called Twitter Circles where you select a specific group of people. You can post tweets out to that specific circle. It's supposed to be private to them. A lot of that information was not being restricted to people's circles. And that is a really big no-no in terms of regulation, leaking private information that you are, as a user, assured is private and confidential. That just being public, people have gotten sued a lot for that. So I think that's where the biggest risks definitely are. I mean, imagine somebody flips a switch, because they're not encrypted. Imagine somebody flips a switch and like everyone's DMs become public, and you can just like reach them from a link.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I also heard the news. I never know how to pronounce the journalist's last name, but the Twitter Files guy, Matt, is it Taibbi?
Yeah.
Nailed it, Drew. Island Boy, nailed it. But I guess a lot of his tweets have been removed. I guess they had a fallout, him and Elon.
Yeah, Elon leaked some of the messages. It was funny because Matt he was at a Congress, and they asked him point blank. They said, "Is your source Elon Musk?" And he kind of just deflected and whatever. But then Elon Musk just leaked the DMs between him and Matthew, and it made it obviously very clear. And of course, everyone knew that he was the source for the Twitter file stuff. Your OPSEC is so bad, sir.
Even a lot of the Twitter files tweets were removed.
Oh,
So there's, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Now, this again might be the loading issues, but people have been
Fucking
pointing it out.
that is pretty
People have been
genius though.
pointing it
Like
out,
if you make your platform so shitty that you just start like breaking shit on purpose so that you can as like cover.
And there were more details about this specifically. So the journalist, Matt, whatever, I guess he reposted.
We try
some
harder
of
if he
those.
wasn't a piece of shit. I promise.
Yeah, promise. We would do our homework on this one. But he reposted a lot of the Twitter files on like Substack or something. And that's the reason that they're removed from Twitter is because, all those like weird rules that Elon enforced, like, I don't know, but a couple months back that you can't, it was related to the flight logs, where you can't post tweets somewhere. I don't know. Anyway.
You can't post the picture of him next to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah. That whole like nothing burger and that was made out to be, this devastating leak of the Twitter files is now amounted to literally nothing.
Yeah. Like the Twitter files were always really funny because they were like, look at this senator emailing Twitter.
Yeah.
Because they're mad about tweets. And then Twitter did they removed like 2 things.
Yeah.
Scandalous.
Yep. It's interesting nonetheless.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't think the original Twitter owners, I'm not a big fanboy of them regardless, but it is just obviously making this fucking noise about absolutely nothing. The Substack thing specifically is very interesting because they released something called Substack Notes, which is clearly a direct Twitter competitor.
Mm-hmm.
And I could find this out. I'm sure it's a little chicken and egg in terms of whether or not they released it before or after this, but Elon implemented a policy at Twitter that you just like couldn't retweet or like tweets that had Substack links in them.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was the catalyst for this whole removal of
one of the things
files.
that Matt was upset about was exactly that, like this sort of hissing match with Substack, because Matt, a lot of his livelihood I think comes out of Substack subscriptions.
And then also in the news, tech related, is the new leak, the Pentagon leaks of the Massachusetts Air National Guardsman that just got arrested.
What did he actually leak?
I
saw that he leaked.
It was a lot of clandestine operations kind of stuff, a lot of spy craft.
We got boots on the ground
stuff.
in Ukraine.
Yep. We have people listening to phone calls of Korean diplomats, stuff
Korean.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
There's a couple of things that are very funny about that to me. First and foremost is you see the reactions from our allies, whether it's France or South Korea. And their response to this is essentially, yeah, we know they're spying on us, but it makes them look really shitty that they got leaked. Not what the fuck? Why are you doing that? But like, no.
Yeah, it's just like when you get in trouble, like you and your siblings get in trouble with your parents or something. You're like,
But
not
also,
what you did, just the fact that you got caught doing it.
The White House.
That's always what it is.
Yeah.
The White House like openly threatening people reporting on it, which is pretty fucking fucked.
My favorite minor thing about this case is the fact that it originally appeared in this, I forget his name. It's like Jack something, the Air Guardsman. Anyway, he has a Discord, a fairly popular Discord channel, and that's where it originally leaked in, and he's an admin on it. And all the press was referring to it as Discord specifically as gaming forums or something like that. I just think it's funny. And I know Discord is very popular with gaming. Don't get me wrong. I know it's very but it's so beyond that. It's like referring to Reddit as like the gaming social network site Reddit.
The Neckbeard Atheist website.
Yeah. And I know neckbeard atheists are very popular on Reddit, but
it's a big deal there, for sure. But it's much wider than that.
Discord, basically, I haven't not found a community on Discord. Like, you name a subject, it's on Discord in some capacity.
Discord's
probably.
pretty cool. There's a picture of the like operations center for Ukraine, and on one of the monitors is an open Discord server, and they've got like all the code names of the different people in like the voice chat. They're running the war in Ukraine on Discord. So don't say it's the game, unless it's like. Actually, I think
That is a
kinda-
game, Drew.
like,
that is
it is a game. It is. This is just like CS:GO. It's like Civ 6.
I just thought that was kind of funny as far as a spin on the tech
Literacy,
angle.
the lack of.
It's always yeah. That's a perfect way to put it. Tech literacy. That's always bothered me even since I don't even 97, 98 when I first really started getting into the internet and
It's
just
called a
these
social media
weird.
platform. Like you could just fucking
Yeah, or just call it a chat platform or something.
chat
You know, it's
platform.
like
that's so 2005.
a chat room. That would be another way they'd refer to
They
it.
literally,
too, is like
they literally
NPR would
are
be like,
just like.
you could see
cool-
Michelle Norris referring to it as the chat room.
They're like chat
Discord.
rooms on amphetamine, but they're on but they're chat
I mean, they
rooms.
are though. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are to an extent. Chat rooms. It goes the same for music too. Like some of the weird genres that they'll pick out, or some of the names of even instruments or something. You know,
I
it's
call
just
everything
really
that came out
strange.
after 1977 rock and roll.
Before
So-
1977, it's not rock and roll, or
Right. And anything.
Why?
Well,
Why 1977?
What do you mean?
you know, you get
Well-
pretty much every Zeppelin record is not
Yeah.
rock and roll. Then,
What date?
Yeah.
What date should I? What year is better?
well, I mean, I would say the rock and roll really kicked off with like Little Richard and even Buddy Holly. You know, that era, which
Skirting-
is
That's not the question.
late
The question.
50s.
I'm looking for a year.
late 50s.
Okay. Yeah, your kids are gonna love this.
What else you got, Drew? Island Boy.
Really put me on the spot here, but it's okay because nothing matters.
Exactly why I put you on this.
This is unlistenable.
It's fine.
That's what the edit.
No, but I'm gonna say it like every 10 minutes.
I know that's your
You're
shtick.
making it worse.
This,
Though.
this
Yeah.
tonight.
Well, I would say Elon Musk bought like 10,000 GPUs to do an AI company directly after signing a
Yeah,
letter that's like
yeah.
OpenAI. You got to slow down. But we already talked about Elon Musk,
Yeah.
and of course that's what he was doing. So
This is a short episode.
Hold on.
What do you have for AI news, Drew?
um,
I know there's
I'm-
something
I'm
rattling
searching
around
my
in your brain.
right. Sam Altman, the head of OpenAI, was at MIT recently, and they asked if they were working on GPT-5, and he said, "No, we're not training GPT-5 right now." And you can take that in a couple of ways. One is we're not training GPT-5 because it's done. We've already done it. As funny as that is, I don't think that's true. My take on that is basically there is a ceiling to these types of things. There's hardware limitations and information limitations right now that contribute to diminishing returns. As impressive as GPT-4 is, the distance between GPT-3 and 4 is much, much smaller than the distance between GPT-2 and GPT-3, right? And
At what point do you think that Kyle Reese is going to come back
We're talking Terminator now.
to try and take him out?
well, that's the third way that you could interpret this, is that he's been given a threat.
Don't you
from the
think he should have
future.
just already came back at this point? Like,
Not yet.
You would think. I mean,
No.
that's the thing about
No,
time
they
travel.
haven't developed the chip that goes into.
If time travel to the past was
T1.
possible-
that's what's going to happen, though. They're gonna the T1 is going to leave the chip.
Well, right,
800
so- but here's
T800
the-
is going to leave the chip behind.
Right, but right now there's no reason for him to go back yet. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to go this far.
If time travel to the past was possible, we would probably know because we would have seen it. People will come back, right? Or they're very
Not
good at covering
necessarily.
it, or they're very good at covering it up, or it's like a many worlds timeline theory where like traveling to the past just creates a new timeline. But but that's not interesting.
multiverse.
That's not cool. Like that's Dragon Ball Z time travel, and that's fucking annoying because it's like an immediate. You get to cop out of anything because there's no
Yeah.
real. You don't get to play with the like same. You're very limited.
It's
You have a very
It's
limited.
basically like a VHS rewind, right?
and
a
that,
movie?
that there's a lot of fees
No, I'm saying
associated if you don't rewind the
no,
tape
because
before
you
take it back to
you just
Blockbuster.
get to rewind and then basically start back over.
Well, no, but you.
Well,
right,
if-
that's yeah.
If you
That's what I'm
lose
saying.
all time paradox, or if you just accept time paradox and you have like one linear timeline, then everything that's happened has already happened, and it doesn't matter if you come back. It's not going to change anything.
What if you killed your grandpa?
That's why in the Terminator franchise, supposedly the first comeback, they actually delayed the apocalypse by like 20 years or something like that. It's like that doesn't
playing
make
it really
any sense.
fast and loose. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. What the fuck
yeah,
is
it
a
doesn't
delay?
make
You have a
any
time
sense.
machine.
Yeah, that and like okay, so the T1000, right? He's the liquid dude.
That's where we're going to suspend our disbelief.
They topped it out. That was at T1000. You can't beat that. So when they send like the future movies where they had the person that could like make like weapons and guns and control machines, it's like yeah, but you already did the liquid dude. Like you
Stupid.
can't beat that. That's it.
But that's what they did. They beat it.
No, they
Controlling
didn't
machines-
though.
Do you know?
It
if you guys-
can make complex machines instead of just solid objects.
No, it's just dumb. You already
Yeah,
got.
no,
you already
I-
did it.
I'm
I
picking.
agree.
I want the liquid guy on
No.
my team every time. I pick
I'm
the
gonna
liquid
take
guy
the
every
liquid
time.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can go under doors. Like he. I know that the
Isn't he
one
the
that did the machines.
T1000? Isn't that what he is?
T1000. Yeah, I think it was T800 is Schwarzenegger and T1000. I think I might be wrong about that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So we covered it all. We covered AI.
Wait,
Elon
wait.
Musk, movies.
No, wait.
Album on display.
Yep.
We're doing great
What
without
is
an
this?
album,
What is this
guys.
fucking
Use the T800.
checklist ass?
I got it. I nailed
We
it.
just show like this is becoming a job where we have to like show up and like just get our deliverables in.
With your posture right now, I do not believe it's a job.
It's on island time.
I sit like this most of the day.
That's what I'm saying.
I will say I do. I think I have a pretty distinct professionalism mode that I can sometimes go
No,
into.
you're good. I'm not criticizing. I'm just playing.
No, I'm not. I don't care if you're criticizing.
I'm just saying
That's fine.
2/3 of your screen right now is a wall.
No, that's not true. I mean, there's a blowback poster. There's some cool
You,
tag.
you know what I mean? It's negative space. It's not your face.
Right,
or your
negative space
body.
is very important. You're a designer. You know this. Negative space is very important. I'm in the lower third.
You are in the lower third. Yeah.
I'm in the middle. Actually, I need more white space. Actually, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah. You got the golden mean going on with like a stick coming out of your head.
Right. The hyper ratio.
And for our listeners, Drew is quite the slouch. The Island Boy has quite the slouch going on. He's basically
Yeah, I wonder if you can hear it in my voice.
lounging very,
They
very
actually
low in
say
his chair.
they actually say that like standing podcasting is better because you have like a stronger, more
Yeah, I've
control
heard
of
that
the diaphragm.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I bet if
Like
you just,
singing.
yeah, I bet if you just stood up or had better posture in general, it could probably be effectively the same. But
How's that going to affect the bottom line though?
I don't know. I don't know.
think
How's
it
it going to
is.
affect the happiness
I don't think it
index?
is.
That's what I'm after.
The what index?
Happiness index. Yeah.
No, I don't give a shit about
Are
that.
you going to be happier if you're
gives a fuck?
standing?
I don't
Because
care.
I had a standing desk. I wasn't
It's
happy.
about money. So cash money. What is
Episode 30,
happiness if
ladies
not
and
having money? More money than you could spend.
Episode 30.
What a joke.
Watch
Don't sign off. Don't sign off. Hold on. There's more
No,
news.
we're done. No,
There's
we're
more
done.
news.
I'm done.
Mike
think
Pompeo
we're
has
good.
decided not to run for president.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that
not
interesting?
Good news. I mean, it's good news, but it doesn't
Wait,
really matter.
who's not running?
Mike Pompeo.
Former CIA guy.
Guess-
He was never going to really run. Right when
Like Pence
Trump
booed?
announced he was running, he wasn't going to run.
Do you think DeSantis is gonna have a chance? I don't think he does.
Not the way it's going right now. No.
Yeah, I feel like
It's too weird.
Yeah, like everything I'm reading is like he's not really ready for the global stage or the
I don't think he's going to
to.
be able to handle the Trump train of insults.
Mm-mm.
Like it would just because he's not quick enough.
Yeah,
He's not witty enough. And yeah, he's just going to get rolled over.
yeah. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
It'll be fun. I mean, he hasn't even announced.
Who's going against it? Nikki Haley? Is that really
Yeah,
the only?
that's about it.
competition?
I mean, there's a few others, but that's about it, really, as far as big names.
I'm gonna be watching. The
I mean, it's like sports ball, so you know,
Hmm. It is.
do you guys can I pitch something to you guys?
No.
Okay,
not right now.
I'll do it myself.
You can put it in a text message like 12:30 at night, but not right now.
Usually it's 2 a.m. That's his
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
You know, I'm not up for one of your
Okay,
pitches.
I didn't realize that this was the show where we dogged on people who are neurodivergent, but really great to show your bigotry.
When did
But
that
I
happen?
I had a therapist.
Newsflash
I
for
had
you.
to go
We're
to-
all neurodivergent.
Yeah,
I had a therapist that I had to go to when I was like 12 years old as part of like trauma for the mixed
Mhm.
family shit. They were
Is
like,
this part of the pitch? Are you doing it? anyways?
no, you told
Okay.
me no, and I'm listening to you because
Okay.
wow, that's a first.
that's not true. That's not true.
Maybe
Uh,
the second.
I
Yeah, maybe a second.
they said you might have Asperger's.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
it's obvious.
Asperger's. Yeah.
It's obvious.
Yeah, you're on the
Yeah.
spectrum for sure.
What the
I think
fuck?
we're probably all three on a spectrum.
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine. He's
No, Carl-
he's definitely yeah.
Hmm.
Who knows? I'm yeah.
And they were like, and then
Anyway.
she was like, your dad though definitely has Asperger's. And I was like, fuck,
Everybody's on the
okay.
spectrum.
Got him.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that like everybody, but I think we have certain traits that might be bleeding over into
There's a
certain
sort of
territories.
there's a self-selection. What do you call
Well,
that?
I think, and I'm not trying to like dog on engineers or anything, but there's a certain like obsession with
Because our brains are too
approach
big.
technologies and stuff. No, I mean, yeah, that's
We're
true.
too
but-
goddamn smart.
No, like the
And
amount,
handsome and our
the
dicks are
sheer
too big.
amount of research and the depths in which we go into everything. And I'm talking like the way that we play video games, the way that we obsess over really anything. Yeah, I mean, there's probably something there, some sort of neurodivergence.
I want to say this before we sign off. Quit your job. It's great. Kicks ass.
To the listeners, or
Yeah, to everyone.
okay,
You guys
all
too.
right.
Your listeners.
Don't quit your job. AI will replace it for you. And
No, that's what I'm saying. Quit your job. It's going away anyways. It's fine.
Yeah,
Whatever.
quit your job when
Enjoy-
you have a.
Enjoy. There's a
when you have a-
small. You have a unique opportunity.
Why are you
now.
holding gum?
You have a unique opportunity now before
He's holding gum.
He's
Yeah.
holding a pack of gum.
Okay.
Trident.
WeDoCrime.com/voicemail.
Experiment.
Please leave us a voicemail so we have something to discuss. And we have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/@WeDoCrime. And we'll have
They should
merch
have-
soon because Drew is going to get our store up, and it's
That's
going to
fine. I got
have
nothing else
stuff like
going on.
this glass, and T-shirts and stickers
Yep.
and patches and all kinds
Still
of
haven't
stuff.
gotten mine.
Yeah,
haven't got- I
I
haven't got
actually
mine
was going to
either.
bring it into the office and drop it off there and make you guys go up to the office and pick it up. But
Well, I gotta go there
forgot.
anyways pretty soon.
Oh yeah, actually you did. Oh, yeah.
Actually, no. Do you think? Can I make them send me a box?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Despite
I
like
mean,
them
you could
knowing that
try.
I'm like a 5-minute drive away.
You literally live on the same street as.
That's none of their business.
I know it's.
They
a
can't dox
different
me like that.
technical Street, but-
Sugar. This has 1 gram of sugar alcohol in it. This gum.
What?
Either
But that
way,
doesn't
that's
mean it has alcohol.
total sugar 0 grams. Sugar alcohol 1 gram.
I don't know.
Oh, sugar alcohol.
Maybe
I don't
that's
know.
why
All
I'm
I
so
know-
drunk.
I mean, yeast eats sugar and poops out alcohol, but I don't know. I mean, that's a very kind of
love it.
limited
I love that shit.
idea of how that works, but it's more complex chemical stuff going on. But nonetheless, episode 30. Thank you so much. We'll
for
be
listening.
next week. We'll be back next week, primed and ready with better research and
Yeah, we'll be
article
like
coverage
we'll
and-
we'll be next
I don't
week
know.
is the week we start making sense.
yeah.
Start making sense.
It's gonna be great. Next week, you just wait. But for the fans, this has probably been a nice.
This is why we do it. This is why we do it for the fans.
We don't have any fans.
We do it for the fans. And that's what it's all about.
There's no. There's no.
I have at
fans.
least 3 fans
It's
right here
fans.
in the basement with me right now.
That's what it's all about. It's for the fans.
Yeah, we don't have any fanatics.
I mean fans that
I know what you mean.
plug into and circulate the air.
Yeah, it's getting kind of warm, isn't
You
it?
guys are
Yeah.
boomers.
Dude, it's like
Now we're doing this. Now we're doing the weather small talk right here at the end. That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Now watch this drive.
So we have to protect our genius. We're not selling anybody's data.
Now watch this drive.